$700? No. Hey guys, Lion here. For the past week I've been an adult. You know how that goes. Working 40-hour weeks, 9 to 5, the endless grind to pay the bills. But in between, I love surfing YouTube, and I can't help notice that I've been seeing countless of thumbnails of WTF PlayStation 5 Pro. I didn't even know there was a trailer for this. I just searched it up and I want to see it with you guys for the first time. I don't know, man. PS4 Pro was a pretty big deal for me when it came out, and I loved it, so I'm hoping good things come from this. Without further ado, let's see what the fuss is about.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology.
Okay.
But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
I have the OG PS5. Not the Slim, the disc
When
drive.
PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to
God, I haven't played any of these games.
Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination.
That looks beautiful.
A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
I want to stop it right here. I remember when the PS5 first came out, they were just hyping the loading screen, that there wasn't any. And it's kind of like a repetition of that. I'm happy they're highlighting it again, but that's not any new information. Let's keep watching. Let's see what's going on. So far, I'm pretty hooked. I don't know. Let's see.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game.
We know this.
It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences.
It really
Creators
is.
have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
Oh, for sure.
The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players.
Yeah.
Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail.
The last game that I experienced the hardest decision of my life, whether I wanted fidelity or performance, was when Dying Light 2 first came out. And I didn't want it to look bad, but I had to compromise whether it looking choppy at 30 frames per second or sacrifice some of the graphics for it to run smoother in performance mode. So hopefully this kills that gap. I don't know, let's see.
Or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time.
I can see that.
Decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games.
Oh, that's interesting.
Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the big three involved,
GTA
the
6.
results can be pretty amazing.
This is for
Graphics
GTA
showing
6.
something like fidelity levels of detail.
I know that they created the PS5 Pro for the GTA 6. The GTA 6. Not GTA 6, the. I can't wait for that game to come out. God.
But it doubled the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Yeah, you can notice it.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
Oh, man. You could see how...
Another...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I gotta see that. Yeah, you could definitely see how blurry it is. But then again, I don't think that's a good example because high-paced games, you don't really focus on how good it looks. Usually everything's already blurry anyways. I mean, your eyes could only see so much. If you do this, you see your hand. You know what I mean. But it does. I could see it.
Power of PlayStation 5.
I see it. I see it.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
It really is.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars.
Now, I feel, this is just my personal opinion, I feel as if you can get the same result of picture quality in a normal PS5 if you also put a side-by-side between fidelity and performance mode. But at the same time, when you move, it's a little choppy, but as far as how it looks, there's no comparison. I don't know. Nah, let's keep watching. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Let's keep going. I'm not completely blown away, but I like what I see.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate.
Okay.
But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects,
I haven't played this game either.
as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Dwarf's orders.
Good enough for me.
God, that game looks beautiful.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second.
I remember Gran Turismo on PlayStation 1. And I thought it was like the best looking game at the time ever. I was like, this is a real car. This right here is a real car. That looks beautiful, man. Like, God, that's amazing.
That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows.
Oh, man.
I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
You'll never break a legend.
Oh, the model's different. Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Don't let me hang.
Oh, man. It looks really good.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Did I do it? Oh, what?
I haven't played any of these games.
All in the air.
I'm missing out, man. I really am. Oh, man. Wingardium Leviosa. Dude, I feel like a little kid. I'm excited. I really am. What the f? No way. No way. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me move my head. Let me move my head. $700? No. $700. Vertical stand sold separately? No. No way. I mean, the trailer was beautiful. I loved the no. No. Maybe 600 at the most with the stand. I mean, okay, look, personal opinion. I'm a little bummed out. I was actually thinking about getting it as soon as I heard about it, but I wanted to see what this was about. Now I understand why the gaming community's on fire for the past 24 hours. No way. No, man. Was $700? And you know that's before tax. That's like $720. And plus you're gonna get a game that's gonna be like what, another $80? That's almost like $800. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not completely blown away. The powerful three that this guy was speaking about, Mark Cerny, that's his name up here. It's a beautiful combination. It works together to make the best of what we initially believed the PS5 to be. But no, not for $700. No way. No, man, I'm sad. Like I said, I don't have money like that. Play has no limits, but your wallet does. Your wallet does. Well, guys, there you have it. I'm enjoying my PS5. I genuinely only got it about a year and a half, 2 years ago. One of the very first games I've ever played on my PS5 was Little Nightmares, the series. It was Little Nightmares 1, 2, and the DLC. And it was such a beautiful, horrific, wondrous. Can't wait to play the third one. But honestly, I might just stick with my PS5 for a little longer. I just feel like it hasn't serenaded. I feel like that 5 to 6 year mark hasn't really resonated with me yet. But other than that, I don't know, man. I can't agree with the price. I'm sorry. I just cannot. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me. It was a hell of a ride. Now I know what all the hype's about. In the meantime, check out some of my videos, subscribe, like, let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.